So welcome everyone to today's session where we'll be discussing more about crowdfunding and what Thundafund does. So today's session is in partnership with Standard Bank where we'll explain more about the partnership that we have. But today we're mainly talking about what crowdfunding is, how it works, and how many businesses have benefited through crowdfunding for their own business. So I'd like to quickly introduce Thunderfund. So Thunderfund is the name of our platform, and it's Africa's leading reward-based crowdfunding platform. We'll talk more about what crowdfunding is and explain further. We are operating in 3 countries at the moment. It was initially launched in South Africa in the year 2013. We did proceed to expand in Kenya in the year 2019, and then in the year 2020, we were able to launch in the Gambia. And we do hope to launch in many more other countries within Africa. Over the years, we've been able to partner with great organizations. And by partnering with these organizations, it has allowed us to reach out to more businesses to educate and guide them on crowdfunding and how to crowdfund for their business. So to just mention a few of the organizations we've worked with, we have worked with ShopRite, we've been able to work with UNCDF, Nedbank, ALX, and at the moment we are partnered with Standard Bank. We have been able to partner with many other more organizations that have not been mentioned, and this has definitely helped us reach out to more businesses to allow them to learn about what crowdfunding is and how it can work for them. To introduce myself, my name is Rose Dongo. I am based in Nairobi, Kenya, and I have been working in Thunderfund since the year 2020. And I am the lead campaign manager. And what I do is I do organize and follow up on partnerships that we have. I do lead trainings on crowdfunding and also help businesses on launching their crowdfunding campaign together with an able team that we do have as well. So again, welcome to today's session. So to start off, I'd like to explain and what crowdfunding is. And basically to explain it in the most simplest way possible, crowdfunding is an online way to raise funds for either a business or a project. The idea is that you're raising funds from a large group of people. So you have a large group of people contributing small amounts of money. Sometimes you find that businesses struggle in being able to either gain loans from a bank or any extra amount of money to help them grow their business, expand their business, or launch any new business that they have. So we do have businesses that lead towards crowdfunding as a way of raising funds. You do find that there are a group of people within your networks who have the capacity to support you by contributing small amounts of money and being able to bring that network together and allowing each individual to contribute that amount of money, all of it added up together allows you to reach the goal of an amount that can help you grow your business. So what Thunderfund does is that our platform allows you to create a campaign that can allow you to navigate your networks and allow them to contribute towards your campaign. It allows them to understand why you're creating a campaign and why you're raising funds. And it also allows people to see the vision that you have for your business. So like I said, within your networks, you do find that the people who are willing to support, they may not know that you need the support, and crowdfunding has been an essential avenue that businesses have used to kind of bring together that group of people to reach towards their goal. I do have a question. Feel free to either unmute and answer, or you can add it in the chat section. The first question is, have you ever crowdfunded before? Or if you do decide to take this journey, will this be the first time? And the other question I would like you to answer is, if you have, or if you haven't, have you ever contributed towards a crowdfunding campaign before? Have you ever found yourself contributing towards any campaign? It could either be for a business or for an initiative where people are raising funds for a particular initiative, because that's also crowdfunding. So please feel free to add in the chat section, or please feel free to unmute and share whether you have crowdfunded. This just allows us to know how much knowledge you have within crowdfunding and just to allow us to guide you further. So I'll give you a minute to answer in the chat section before we proceed with the next slide. As you continue to answer in the chat section, I'd like to proceed to the next slide where we'll be talking about what crowdfunding is not. There has been a couple of misconceptions from my experience with guiding businesses on crowdfunding, and it's always important to clarify some of the misconceptions that people have about crowdfunding. So number one, crowdfunding is not charity. And we say that because you're not asking for handouts. And the reason is because the more we discuss about crowdfunding, especially for our platform, we do talk about reward crowdfunding. So the idea of reward crowdfunding is for every contribution someone is able to give, they are able to get value or something out of it. And we will take you through an actual crowdfunding campaign to give you more context of how that looks like. But the idea is to motivate your networks to contribute towards you and to help your business grow. It's always good to add a reward or something in exchange for them to be motivated to contribute. So that's why we say it's not charity, because for any contribution, people have the option of receiving a reward or an item in exchange. However, it doesn't limit people to contribute just out of the willingness of wanting to support you and the business. The other misconception that people have is that crowdfunding is a loan. It is not a loan. For the amount that you're able to receive, you will not be paying it back to the people who supported you. And the reason is because they've already received something out of it. They've already received value in exchange. They have been able to select a reward they prefer out of what they've contributed. Therefore, once you are able to receive the funds from your campaign, you will not be obliged or expected to refund it back. The only thing you'll be requested to do is to just make sure that you fulfill the rewards that the individual has selected. Okay, so just quickly reviewing the chat section. So from one Cello, you've mentioned that you have not crowdfunded before, so this will be your first time if you do take this journey, and we do hope that you're able to learn more about what crowdfunding is. Again, please feel free to ask any questions within the session in case anything is not clear. So again, crowdfunding is not charity and it's also not a loan. It is just you being able to create a campaign that allows people to support you and your business without having to refund the amount back. Again, as I'd mentioned in the beginning, we are partnered with Standard Bank, and I'd love to touch more on the partnership that we have with them. So at the moment, Standard Bank are committed in finding different solutions for businesses to grow. And they have partnered with us to allow us to guide and educate more businesses on what crowdfunding is as an alternative source of raising funds for their business. Sometimes not all businesses have access to traditional sources of funding, which could either be mostly when it comes to receiving loans from a bank. So they do want to add an alternative option for those who may not be approved to still find a way to find a source of capital or a source of funding to help with their business. And that's why we partner with them to reach out to as many businesses as possible to allow them to learn about crowdfunding and to also be able to run a successful crowdfunding campaign. So on top of that, for those who qualify, Standard Bank has also been able to offer matching funds up to a specific amount under businesses that qualify. So in order for you to qualify to now be receiving matching funds for any campaign that you're able to run, you must be an existing Standard Bank. You must have an existing Standard Bank business account, and you must fall under these categories. If you're a woman-owned business, if you're a youth-owned business, if you are a business that has been impacted by a natural disaster or civil unrest, these include riots or flooding, and also if you're a business that's located in the rural areas. If you fall under this category, you are able to receive matching funds of up to 50,000 Rand for your business. However, it doesn't limit any business from running a campaign. Even if you don't fall under this category, you're still able to run a crowdfunding campaign. You are able to join our cohorts and learn more in depth of what crowdfunding is and how to run a successful one as well. So this just applies for those who do have Standard Bank business accounts and fall under this category, and they are able to receive matching funds. So just to go back among to a business that has been able to receive matching funds. We have been able to launch quite a number of campaigns, and these campaigns have been able to raise funds and they were able to receive matching funds from Standard Bank. And one of the businesses is the Tri-Toad Nursery, where they grow seedlings, and they were able to raise funds and receive matching funds from Standard Bank. And also Standard Bank were able to feature their story about the business on the Standard Bank website. We will be sharing this link just to learn more about this business, to learn why they decided to create a crowdfunding campaign, to understand what they were raising funds for, and also how they are planning to use the funds. There's so many different reasons as to why businesses run a crowdfunding campaign. For some, they want to maybe maintain their operations because maybe they're struggling a bit financially. For others, they want to maybe purchase new machinery. Others maybe want to launch a new item in their business or in their service. So there are so many reasons why businesses want to crowdfund or want to raise money. So we will be sharing this feature that Standard Bank was able to post on their website just to learn more about why this particular business decided to crowdfund. It's always good to go through such a story just to relate with a fellow business and understand some of the struggles maybe they went through and how crowdfunding has been able to help them and their business. Any questions up to that from anyone? Again, please feel free to add your questions in the chat section and I'll make sure to answer any questions that you have. So now I'd like to talk about why crowdfunding works. You may understand the concept of crowdfunding, but crowdfunding comes with multiple benefits and it's important to understand what you're able to get out of crowdfunding. So of course, the main reason why people crowdfund is to raise funds for their business. However, there are multiple benefits that come together with raising funds, and it's important to be aware of them in advance so that once you're able to launch a crowdfunding campaign, you're able to take advantage of it and you're able to make sure that you are able to apply all these benefits for your business. So I can see we have a question in the chat section. So it says, I do have an account with Standard Bank, but I'm not in the rural area, youth, or affected by any disaster. Does that mean that I can't qualify for the matching funds? Yes. So unfortunately, in as much as you have a Standard Bank business account, you must fall under those four categories in order for you to receive the matching funds. So you should either be based in the rural area if you're a youth-owned business, which is up to 35 years, if you are affected by any disaster. So those are the ones that do allow you to receive the matching funds at this point in time. Yes. Thank you for that question. So again, like I said, and irrespective of the fact that you may not qualify for the matching funds, we do see so many businesses crowdfund even without receiving the matching funds and run a very successful campaign. So please do take in all we're able to share. Do consider to join the cohorts just to learn more about crowdfunding and how you can proceed to launch your own crowdfunding campaign for your business. So like I said, we want to talk more about why crowdfunding works. So the first one is brand awareness. So crowdfunding is actually a very effective tool when it comes to marketing your business. And the reason is because when you launch a crowdfunding campaign and you're reaching out to your networks to contribute towards your campaign to help you reach your financial goal, you are indirectly also marketing your business. Sometimes you find that people are aware that you do have a business, but may not really understand or may not know the specifics of what your business is about. You realize that you have so many contacts and so many networks. And when you're launching a crowdfunding campaign, you are reaching out to these people to let them know that you have this business, you've launched this campaign, and you're hoping to reach this particular financial goal. And the reason as to why is because you want to use this money for any particular reason as to why you're raising funds. So while you're doing that, you are indirectly marketing and talking more about your business to people. We do have businesses that have a good social media platform and following. So they're also sharing their campaign there. And it's a way of marketing again because you are communicating and sharing your campaign to as many people as possible. And this, you're able to gain attention towards your business and people are able to maybe ask more about what exactly you do or what your business offers. So we do say, as you continue to crowdfund, look at it as a way of bringing more awareness to your business or reminding people again of what you do. They may not, for some, they may find that they do need some of the services and products that you have to offer. And even if they don't, maybe they do know somebody else who may be interested. And that's how word goes around and you're able to market your business more. So crowdfunding definitely helps with marketing. Another one is future fundraising. So once you're able to run a crowdfunding campaign and a successful one the first time, you find that people have trusted you because you've created a campaign, you've been able to raise funds, you've also been able to disperse the rewards that people had purchased or selected, and that kind of creates trust and credibility towards your business. So sometimes when you get to a point where you want to launch another crowdfunding campaign, there's a trust that had already been created in the first one that allows you to have an easier time when you're launching your second campaign. On our platform, we've seen quite a number of businesses launch two campaigns. So maybe they launched one in the beginning of this year and decided to launch another one the following year. And both of them were successful because of that trust that was created when they launched their first campaign. So it does help in case you decide to follow up with another campaign. I'll give an example when it comes to brand awareness. We do have a theater in South Africa called the Labia Theater, and they did launch a crowdfunding campaign a couple of years back. And when they were reaching out to their networks, people were contributing funds, but contribution comes in different ways. A particular individual offered to put up a billboard for them about their campaign just to create more awareness. For them, since they had an advertising company, they said, you know what, I want to support the Labia Theatre, and instead of contributing money, let me give them a free billboard. So if you look at the image where the cars, at the top right, you can see that there's a billboard there, and that's the billboard that had been put up. And this was their first campaign a couple of years back, and were able to do great. Labia did come again and launched another campaign this year, and they were also able to raise a good amount of money. So this is the second campaign that they launched. They were lucky enough to be approved by Standard Bank to receive the matching funds, and they are raising more money for the summer season. So they had a goal of raising 50,000. They were able to raise 51,390 on their own, and on top of that, they were able to be matched 50,000. Since with the matching funds, each business is able to be matched a maximum of 50,000 rand. If you look, they were able to have 95 backers. And when we say backers, we mean supporters, meaning 95 people contributed towards their campaign to help them reach this goal. So this was their second campaign, and they were able to do extremely well. And as we had mentioned before, there's a credibility that had been created when they launched their first campaign that allowed them to have a great successful second campaign. So these are some of the things we tell people when you're running your campaign, make sure that you create that credibility and trust, because not only are they trusting the campaign, but also your business as well. Another reason why we say crowdfunding works is because crowdfunding is more than just money. With crowdfunding, you're able to interact with like-minded people who are interested in your business or who are interested in the products and the services that you have to offer. It's important to create that good reputation for your business. It's important to interact with like-minded people who maybe are within the same industry and would be willing to give you more advice on some of the things that you're doing. We've seen crowdfunding create a community for people and also increase the existing community that they have. So it's very important for you to look beyond raising the funds. Look at it as a way of interacting with your supporters, listening to their feedback about some of the things that you have to offer. At the end of the day, listening to feedback is important because this allows you to refine your service and your product just to make sure that you are providing people with what they actually need within the business that you have. We have seen a couple of businesses give us feedback and say that they were able to get feedback from their supporters and they were able to modify some of their services and products to meet the demand of the market. So it is important to look at it beyond than just raising funds. Any questions up to there from anyone? Again, feel free to use the chat section in case you do have any questions. Now, this is
okay. Yes, I do have a question. Sorry.
yes,
I do have a question.
yes.
Yes. In terms of building my network
Yeah.
for my crowdfunding to
Mm-hmm.
gain traction from supporters, I also sometimes when I keep on following the crowdfunding campaigns and so on, I came up with an idea of maybe looking into the platform itself,
Mm-hmm.
see how many campaigns were successful, and also try to interact with the campaign owners to try and ask them if we can help in terms of referral to being backers, just to assist on making my campaign more successful. So is that allowed? Is that
Sorry, could you
allowed
kindly repeat that
to do
again? I
so?
can't hear you very clear.
Okay. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is that yes. What I'm saying is that I once had an idea in terms of building strong support for my campaign. My parents,
Yes.
yes, yes. So what happened is that I came up with an idea
Mm-hmm.
to have um, to look into previous campaigns on Thundafund, check how many of them were successful, try and interact with the campaign owners to see if can they assist in terms of referrals to potential backers. So my question is that allowed to do so on crowdfunding?
Yeah. So maybe let me talk more about when it comes to the networks.
Okay.
You find that mostly your existing networks are the ones who are more likely to support you and kind of help you create that momentum in the beginning of your campaign. Okay. We do
Yes.
see networks in three categories. We have your friends, families, and close people that already know you and know your business. And then we do
Mhm.
have your existing clients who maybe are already interacting with your product, but you may not know each other very well. And then we have the shoppers who are people who would find value in your business but are yet to be aware of it. So normally what happens is through mode of communication from your friends and family letting other people know, you're able to reach out to a bigger group of people. Okay. Reaching out to other campaigns, we do the it depends because you won't be able to get the information on the campaign unless it's the social media platforms. But we are able to guide you on how to navigate your existing campaigns. Okay.
Okay.
Because one of the things we offer in the trainings is how to establish your networks and how to maximize your existing networks and how to be able to kind of convert them into being able to contribute towards your campaign. So that's something that we still guide you with in order for you to kind of figure that one out. One thing is different businesses vary. Different businesses are in different categories and they will approach their campaigns differently. So sometimes we are able to even have one-on-one sessions with you where we're able to guide you depending on the category or the of business that you're involved in. Maybe how someone in tech would approach their campaign is different from someone who's in the arts would approach their campaign. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we always encourage that you start navigating your existing networks because the people who are more likely to support you are people who already know you or are aware of your existing business. We do have people who also kind of promote their campaigns on social media as well. And how that is navigated, again, also differs on the type of business that you have and the type of social media platforms that you use, and also just how interactive your social media platforms are as well. I hope
Okay.
that helps and guides you.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, okay, awesome, great. Um, awesome. So let's continue with how crowdfunding works. So when you look at this diagram, it's like a flowchart of from the beginning to the end of a crowdfunding journey. Okay. So number one, you either have a business idea or in most cases you have an existing business. Okay. So what you do is you come to our platform, which is Thundafund.Africa, and we will share the link with you at the end of the session via email as well as a guide. You do create an account on our platform, which is free, and then you start creating your campaign. I will share with you how a campaign looks like, just to give you an idea of what to expect a campaign to contain, because there are certain things that you may need to input in order for you to have a complete campaign. So once we've reviewed your campaign, we've guided you, and everything is in order, we are able to launch your campaign to go live, and we're able to share with you a link that directs people towards your campaign. Once you're able to receive that link, you can now reach out to your existing networks, crowds, and allow them to know that you have an existing crowdfunding campaign, and as to the reason as to why you're raising funds, and of course that their support will be highly appreciated. So once you're reaching out to your crowd, slowly you see that for those who have taken in the message, they start contributing towards your campaign. Our platform has multiple modes of payment, which allows you to be supported by people from all over the world. So we do have card payment, we do have we have PayPal as well, and we do have EFT as well. For those based in Kenya, where mobile money is popular, we have that as well. So this allows you to reach out to people from all continents, all countries, and allow them to contribute towards your campaign. And then we also tell you to encourage your friends and family to share your campaign, for them to share your campaign with their networks as well, just to help and encourage you to reach your goal. So once you reach your goal, we do reconcile and disperse the funds to you. For those who are able to receive matching funds, the matching funds will be added and also dispersed to you as well. So this is just a simple flow diagram to allow you to understand the journey of crowdfunding. Of course, it is a bit more in-depth, and during the upcoming cohorts, we do take you through more of what exactly is entailed in each of these steps in the journey, just to allow you to be able to complete and create a good campaign. So a campaign has different requirements. There are certain things that you need to create, you need to establish in order for you to have a complete campaign. And the main things are the campaign goals. When we talk about goals, it's the financial goals, how much you want to raise. The second one is a campaign story. It's important for people to understand what your business is about and why you're raising funds. So creating a story is important, and we do guide you on how you can do that, and we can help you as well. A campaign video is also required in order for you to create a video. And the final one is the rewards. What are some of the rewards you can set up in your campaign that people can purchase to encourage them to support your campaign? So we'll quickly go through these 4 requirements. Again, feel free to ask any questions as I continue. The first one we'll talk about is a campaign goal. So when we talk about the campaign goal, we're talking about what amount of money are you hoping to raise in your campaign. So campaigns differ, businesses differ, so the goal will differ. So it's important for you to look at your organization, look at your networks, and see what would be a good realistic goal. Again, a realistic crowdfunding goal is very crucial. And the reason why we say this is because sometimes when you put an extremely high goal and you start reaching out to your networks, some may doubt whether you may be able to reach that goal and may be hesitant to contribute, because they may feel that the small contribution they can give may not really help you reach that goal that you have. And that's why we always say it's always good to start with a smaller goal, and you can always launch another campaign after, or as you continue, you can always increase the dream goal that you had. So it's very important for you to go through to set up a realistic goal. Another thing you can do for you to establish what your goal is, ask yourself what are your business needs? What exactly do you need? And arrange them from the most important to the least important. So for example, you may find that a business may need to do marketing and may want to invest in marketing the business more and setting up ads on different social media platforms, and that's their main goal. So it's important to ask yourself, how much do you need in order for you to set up your ads on the different platforms? For another business, you may find that there are several machineries that you may want to purchase, or there's several raw materials that they need for their business, and they'll list them down from the most important to the least important, establish how much they want to purchase and how much it will cost them. And again, this helps you realize what some of the goals that you have. For majority of the campaigns, if I was to give an average, we do see campaigns set up 50,000 rand, others 100,000, others 200,000, even others 500,000. But again, it depends on the type of business you have and also the network that you hope will be able to come and support your business. The second thing that you need to create is a story. In order for people to contribute towards your business, it's important for them to understand you, your business, what you do, what you've been able to achieve on your own, and what you're hoping to achieve with their support. So it's important for people to have a backstory and understand. You may find that there's some people who may not know you personally, may want to know more about you and your business in order for them to be convinced to want to support you. So it's very important for you to write your story through your eyes, through your journey, to allow people to see and understand what you've been through, and for you to get to where you are now and to hopefully reach where you want to get with your business. There are certain questions that we have set up to help you kind of curate that story. So the first question is, who are you? When it comes to that, you can answer about, talk more about yourself, how the business was launched. Is it a business you launched yourself? Is it a business that was handed down in the family? Kind of give a background of your business and how it came up. Number two, it's important to answer what you do. So within the business, are you offering products? Are you offering services? And if you are, what are they? So talk more about what you offer. The good thing with our platform is that it allows you to add images. So if you're able to add visuals of what you have to offer, the better, so that people can truly see what it is that your business does. The third question is why we need your help. So it's important for you to let people know the reason as to why you're creating a crowdfunding campaign. How will these funds help you? What do you plan to use them for? So it's very important to answer that. The other thing is what's in it for them. What are some of the rewards that people are able to receive after contributing? So you can always mention a few of them there just to get people a bit excited to want to contribute towards your campaign. And then finally, what is your funding goal and how do you plan to spend the amount that you raise? So again, before we said that it's important to set up a goal, but it's also important for you to have a budget for your goal. People are more willing to support you if they can see that you are already aware of how you're planning to use the money, because they can see that you've already sat down, planned for it, and budgeted it. I always say the same way you have an amount of money that you plan to use at the supermarket and you budget it, and you decide this is what I'm going to use on eggs, this is what I'm going to use on milk, and so on, is the same way we encourage you to budget the funding goal that you've set. So if you decided to set 100,000 Rand as your goal, break that down and explain to us how you plan to use that amount. Again, people are contributing towards the campaign, so it's important for them to know that there's clarity on your end on how you plan to use the funds. And then, of course, you can always add a thank you at the end of the story, just to thank people in advance for any support that they may potentially offer your campaign. So these are some of the questions that we share. Again, we will share this presentation at the end of the session, just for you to reference and just to allow you to see what are some of these questions that you can ask yourself in order for you to create a good story. Again, we do also help you in case you are struggling a bit, and we can also guide you on how you can modify and have a great story. So the next thing that you need to create is a campaign video. So again, it's very important for people to have a visual of either you or your business. These are some of the tips that we offer for you to create a video. Number one, we encourage that you create a short video. Sometimes you find that people don't have time to watch an extremely long video. So an average and good length of a video would be 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes maximum. From there, we do say cover what we've covered in the story. So if you look back in the story, the questions that you've answered here, you can now cover them in your video and talk to the people and allow them to see who you are. And you can also record your business as well as you continue to explain why you set up the crowdfunding. campaign. Again, answer those questions as briefly as possible so that you're able to cover more content. And number three, you can use your phone. Do not feel like you need to get a whole team to come and help you record. Majority of campaign videos are recorded using a phone. So you can just set up your phone and record and kind of talk to individuals and allow them to understand what you do and why you've set up a crowdfunding campaign. From statistics, we've seen that campaigns with a personal video are able to raise 105% more than those that do not. And that just shows you how important it is to set up a video. Okay. And the final thing is the rewards. So like as we had mentioned before, when you're setting up your campaign, you will be encouraged to have to set rewards, because again, people always ask, where am I contributing towards a business? So to encourage your networks to come and contribute and support you, like we had mentioned in the beginning, Thunderfund is a reward-based crowdfunding campaign. Since you're crowdfunding for a business, there needs to be that incentive that will encourage people to contribute. And here is where you set up rewards. So, like we said, rewards are the incentives that are offered in a campaign, and the rewards differ in amount. So you might find there's a reward worth 50 rand. So if somebody contributes 50 rand, this is what they get. Another one could be 200 rand. So for 200 rand, they get something different. And for 300 rand, they get something different. So rewards definitely differ depending on the business that you have. I will share examples of rewards that you can consider, but what I'll also do is share campaigns that we have launched through the Standard Bank partnership to allow you to see some of the rewards that they had set up. Okay, so to kind of give examples of rewards, one example is a social media shout out. This will work for businesses that have a good, active, and also interactive social media platform. So for those who have a very good interactive social media platform, you find that someone may say, first contribute 50 rand and we'll shout you out on our social media platform. Another reward that you can offer are discounts. You can consider to apply discounts on specific items within your business or specific services that you have to offer. And you can offer discounts on a limited number of items. So you can say the first 20 people who purchase this reward will get a discount of 5% if they're able to contribute this amount, you know. So these are things that we're able to discuss and guide you more on. And sometimes you find that your contribution is a donation. And I'll show you an example of a campaign that did that, whereby they say, if you do contribute maybe 300 Rand, we are able to give back to this particular organization, or we are able to plant this number of trees within this particular area. So rewards do differ. And this is a part where we have to be a bit more observant of what your business is about to make sure we do set up the correct rewards for you. So some of the things we do is have interactive sessions where we're able to learn more about your business and we are able to discuss and see what would be good rewards for you. So the trainings that we do have that are upcoming do help and guide you to understand how you can sit down and consider a good reward for your campaign. Okay. Any questions up to there? Okay, so as I'd mentioned before, I would like to share a campaign with you just to give you an understanding of how a campaign looks like, just to give you a better understanding. So just kindly give me a minute to share my screen and take you through a campaign so that you're able to have a visual of how your campaign would look like once you're able to launch. So I hope you're able to see my screen. So this is a campaign that was launched in partnership with Standard Bank. And this is how a campaign looks like. At the top, you'll see that that is the link. On the left side, this is a YouTube video. So they created a video uploaded it on YouTube, and added the link there for you to have a video. On the right side at the top, you can see that that's the heading, the name of the campaign. They said, let's get Grow Box back on the road again. Now, if you scroll down, there's a brief description that appears here. You can see that it's a South Africa-based campaign, and it falls under the food and beverage category. So the different categories that you can select from. The campaign had set up a goal of 250,000 Rand. They were able to raise 71,980, and this is inclusive of matching funds since they were approved for matching funds. The total number of supporters they had was 59 supporters. So 59 supporters helped them reach this amount. Now, if you scroll down, on the left side, we have the story. So one of the things I liked about them is that they put them in bullet points. I always believe it's easier for people to read a story if it's in bullet points, and they were just able to share more information about their business and what they do. And as you continue, they also give a summarized breakdown on how they intended to use the funds. So their approach was different. Since they were not sure how much they were able to raise, they did say depending on what they were able to raise is what determined what they were able to do with the money. So they said, if we reach 20,000 Rand, to give more context on this campaign, they do set up boxes that have different plants. So their main business, they do need a car to move around to different locations where they're able to set up boxes where people are able to grow different vegetables and different plants as well. So having a car was very important for them, and that is what they needed. They needed to raise money to either fix the car that they had, which had extensive repairs, or if they were able to reach their goal, they were able to purchase a new car. So since they were not sure about the kind of support they were able to get for their campaign, this is how they set up their reward, their budget. And what they said is, if we're able to raise 20,000 Rand, we will get the existing car repaired as best as they can. If they were able to reach 50,000 Rand, they will purchase a small second-hand car of an older model. If they were able to reach 100,000 Rand, they will purchase a second-hand car, which is slightly newer. And if they were able to raise 250,000 Rand, they will be able to purchase a brand new car, or at least a car that's just a few years old. And this allowed the people to understand, depending on how much they raised, it will determine what they were able to do. So they were able to raise above 50,000. So it's either that they decided to buy a second-hand older model, or if they were able to top up the extra money, they were able to buy a second-hand newer model car. At the bottom, there's an option of you to add your social media links, and this allows people to interact with your business more and see some of the things you posted on your social media, and also just add a WhatsApp link for people to interact with you one-on-one as well. Now, when you scroll back up, on the right side, now we have the rewards. So like I had mentioned before, rewards need to come in different amounts because your supporters have different financial capabilities. So you want to be able to make sure that the different rewards you've set up can accommodate as many people as possible. If you look at this, they have a reward worth 100 Rand, another one worth 300 Rand, 500 Rand, 1,000, and 50,000. So this means that they have been able to accommodate quite a number of people. So if I come and I feel like my pocket can allow me to contribute 100 Rand, I'm able to pick up this reward. For other people, if they feel like 1,000 is what they're able to contribute, they're able to purchase that reward. So I'll go through the rewards just to give you an idea of what they set up. And they said that if you pledge 100,000 Rand, we will give you a discount of 15%. So your 100 pledge will give you a discount of 15,000 of anything that you purchase from their nursery. Okay. If you scroll down, if you contribute 300 Rand, what you get is a grow box seed variety pack. So you're able to get 6 different types of vegetables of different varieties. You're able to get 2 packs of herbs. You're able to get an annual planting guide, an instructional manual, and a sample size fertilizer. So you can see they kind of created like a package of different items that would help you create a grow box. So for them, they're interacting with their existing clients and anybody who would be interested in setting this up. Now, the third one was 500 Rand. You look that the number of packs increase, the number of herbs increase, and also they're able to put one sample size fertilizer and one organic insecticide. So the more the amount increases, the more the value of the reward that is being offered. Okay. The other one for 1,000 Rand included what they were being offered in the previous one, as well as a branded t-shirt. So you do find that sometimes people do offer branded t-shirts, branded caps. But what we always say is that when you're setting up your rewards, it's very important for you to look at your networks and ask yourself, would they be interested in this reward? Because if you offer something they're not interested in, they won't be able to purchase it. So for these individuals, when they looked at their networks, they realized that these are some of the things they would be willing to purchase, and that's why they set it up. Okay. And to also try their luck, they added a 50,000 Rand corporate pledge. And what this meant is that for anyone who's able to contribute 50,000 Rand, they will brand their own car with the company business that pledged this amount. And they will also add the company name and the company logo on the car as well as a form of advertising, since they will be moving around a lot, which I thought was a great idea for them to be able to add this corporate pledge as well. So this is an example of a campaign and some of the rewards that they had in mind. Again, I will share a link to many more campaigns so that you're able to review as many campaigns as possible, just to see the different rewards they set up, to see how they created their video, to see how they wrote their story, and just to give you a better idea of how a campaign would look like or how you would consider to create your campaign. So this brings me to the end of today's session. I hope that this has given you an idea of what crowdfunding is, what to expect when you're creating your crowdfunding campaign. Um, we will be sending you links, and the first link is a link to our platform that will allow you to sign up for free and explore our website and see how you can start creating your campaign. For those who have not registered to see whether they would qualify for matching funds, I will send you a link where you can fill in a form, and this will allow us to follow up with your business more and see whether you'll be able to qualify for the matching funds. Again, if you want to learn more about our partnership with Standard Bank, we will also share a link with you just to give you more in-depth details of the partnership we have with them and what you're able to get from this partnership with Standard Bank. So as I come towards the end of my session, do we have any questions? Again, please feel free to unmute or add in the chat section. Okay, so I have someone who says the last time I didn't get a link going forward. Could you kindly explain more? Did you fill in the Google form, or which link are you speaking about? In case it's a Google form, I will share an email after this session with the links in case you had filled it in. In case you want to fill in the Google form, if you hadn't filled it in, you can fill it in again, and then we'll follow up on it. In case you had filled it in, just let us know, and we will follow up on the link. Any questions from anyone else?
Okay, I think you've answered me. Thank you.
You're welcome, no problem, and thank you for joining today's session. Any question from anyone else? So just to recap, what I'll do is I will send an email after. I will share the presentation that I presented just to allow you to go back and see through some of the things we've discussed. I will share a recording of today's session. It will be a YouTube link that can allow you to refer also on everything that we've discussed. I will share the Google form that will allow us to review your business and see whether you qualify for the matching funds. We will communicate about the cohorts. Like we said, we do run monthly cohorts where we have 3 trainings running over 3 weeks, a training per week, just giving you more in-depth information about crowdfunding as well. And to learn more about our partnership, you will also find the link on this presentation. So I'd like to thank all of you for joining today's session. I truly appreciate it. I'm happy and excited to interact with you more after today's session. And again, please feel free to reach out via email, respond to the email we send if you have any more questions that may come up later on. I'd love to wish all of you an amazing afternoon. And okay, I can see the email address. Thank you for sharing your email address. I'll just copy it real quick. Thank you. So again, thank you for joining today's session, and do enjoy the remainder of the week as well as your weekend as well.